I just wanted to make a video in defense of these helmet holes. Now, I see a lot of opinions online that say they really do not like these helmet holes. They absolutely ruin the minifigure, and they hate this battle pack because of the helmet holes. And I just think that it's a bit overblown. I mean, these figures are tiny, first of all. So, like, the helmet holes aren't that big, anyways. So, if you zoom it out like this, how could you even tell that there was helmet holes on these clones? I think that's just the first thing, because most people are looking them at like this, and you can immediately see the difference. But when you're looking at them from far away, it really is not that noticeable, and it's like basically not that big a deal. Second of all, people are still buying the old version of this figure for like $15 or like $13, which I think is the dumbest decision you could possibly make. Because this figure, so you could either get 4 of these guys in one battle pack for $20, or you could get 2 for, you could get like 1.5 of these, the old one, for like $15. And I think that's just insane that people are so like coaxed into this hatred of the helmet holes that they're still buying this like old version of the figure, which I do admit is better. It is better, but it's not like $15 better. It is clearly like, this is a good figure. I think it's a good figure. It's just the old one's better, and people are like making it seem like the old one's the most beautiful figure when the old one is not the most beautiful figure. The old one still has flaws. The 332nd are supposed to have wraparound printing like this with orange all the way around, but they don't. And honestly, I still think the figure looks good. It just should look like this. And I just don't understand why people think that, the old figure is like a beautiful, amazing figure, and the new one's just ugly, awful. When it's pretty, they're both pretty comparable. And then let's jump into the reasons why I think helmet holes should stay. So here, look. Here's a commander that I made with a 212 or 501st battle pack. It has some custom pieces on it, but this is the type of custom you can make with helmet holes. You can make things like this with the 501st battle pack in combination with the 332nd battle pack. You can make like a 501st Cody. You can make like anything you can possibly want, in like combining all of these battle packs, and you don't have to build the 4 figures that they give you. And I just think that this is just such an untouched subject, that you can make custom figs like this, that people just don't care. They just hate. They just want to hate. And it's just so disappointing to me that people just don't realize that LEGO's trying their hardest, and they could definitely change the helmet holes, and I think most people, including me, would enjoy like helmet holes only being on Specialist Troopers. But I don't think the helmet holes are so egregious that you would just not buy the set at all because it ruins the figure, when I don't think that it ruins the figure. So, second of all, I want to touch on a different subject. It's related but not the same. Here's Commander Vaughn. Now, most people don't like this figure because it has an orange visor, doesn't have the gray on the waist like it's supposed to, and it does not have a dark red visor, which I think these are pretty reasonable complaints, because we're lacking a lot of detail, and the helmet is exactly the same as 332nd. But what I'm saying is that like you can buy a dark red visor for like not even like 3 cents, like so cheap that it wouldn't even matter. And you only need to buy one for one single Commander Von, and then you have a cool updated one. And then what as you keep buying this battle pack, instead of having like 40 Commander Vons, you can just take off the visor and it looks almost exactly like a 332nd. And that's the thing people are disliking about it, is it just looks exactly like a 332nd. Well, I just think that's cool that you don't have to have a million Commander Vons, and you can just have 4 332nds instead of 3, and then the only difference is this just small little print, which does not bother me at all, by the way. Like, this is as minor as the 2 yellow lines on this torso print. And I just think that, the simplicity of Commander Von has made the battle pack better, because you don't have like a very detailed named character getting like 4 of them. And I just think that's like, people don't realize that, and just like it's not talked about enough, and they just complain about Commander Von being bad, even though they don't realize Commander Von was probably not supposed to be in a battle pack, and they made him simple so that you could have multiple 332nd or you could have 4 332nd troopers instead of 332nd troopers and 1 Commander Von that you have to sell. And I'm gonna be honest. And let's touch on a subject that I definitely agree on the Horde hating on, which is these figures. Now, the helmet holes aren't the issue on this. The print is so incredibly bad. I don't understand how they messed this up. And same on this one. Like, people don't talk about this guy, but he's also incredibly printed wrong, because it's supposed to actually look like this, where it like goes out farther and it covers most of the helmet. But this is just stupid. This is not a good looking figure, and it's kind of ruined by the fact that the helmet print is so bad on the top. And I do like the detail and like the scuff marks. I think that really makes this figure worth it. But how did they mess it up this bad? Like, what happened to the printing machine that you can't like print properly? And this just shows like sometimes just big corporations don't care about what the fans have to say. And I think that's why people are complaining so much about every new set they release, is because they just want to be heard. And they don't feel like they're want to be being heard, especially with the new release of the new the new gunship that has a crappy looking Commander Fox with like printing that's inexcusable. And I think that a lot of these complaints are very reasonable, but I just think that I personally still very much enjoy modern Lego Star Wars and modern Clone Army building, because I still like this figure, even if it with the egregious helmet print. I still like it just because it's a 212. Like, and I definitely think it's better than the old one, just because the leg printing is just so much better, and I really like the torso printing. I just think that this is not what we should be getting in terms of Lego Star Wars, and Lego really needs to step up their game on printing. And before you say like there's no excuse, because look at this figure. This is the Toy Story minifigures have some of the most accurate detailed printing I've ever seen. And this just shows that Lego, if they really wanted to, they can print literally wherever they want. And this is just an example of them just being cheap and making sure that like just like being incredibly cheap and not really caring about the quality of the product. Whereas if you look at this is the most like detail I've ever seen, or like Toy Story minifigures just have so much detail. There's just like printing on the top of the wings. There's printing all over the wings. There's printing on the chest plate. There's printing like on the head and like on the back of the figure. And we can see like Woody and Jesse have the same extremely high quality printing, just like all over the figure, on the legs, like it wraps around too, and like the head is like super high quality as printing. Like mine are very used, but like printing all the way around the head, the hat. So like if Lego wants to be high quality, they can. It's just in some cases they choose not to. Not saying these are the worst figures ever, because I still like them. They're just not like what we should be getting. And if they ever release another 2/12, I would hope that they fix it. And there's just too much like extreme hate going around on the internet is what I'm trying to say. Like, I get like hating this, but I don't get hating the helmet holes, because the helmet holes just really aren't that like egregious of a sin like the helmet printing. And I think that just put a bad taste in people's mouths, is this helmet printing. Otherwise, I think people probably wouldn't have hated the helmet holes as much if this figure wasn't so bad, because it's just embarrassing seeing something like this from like the biggest like interlocking brick company ever making something this bad. It's just so disappointing. And I just wish that we could go back to, you know, this. This is what we should be getting. This is what we should be getting. Not this. This is stupid. This is dumb. Anyways, that's my full video and take on helmet holes. Please leave some like discussion, and I just want to hear what people have to say, because you know there's a lot of people with Lego that love Lego Star Wars that have a lot of opinions, and I just want to hear, you know, what people to say. If I have anything wrong, maybe I just don't see it the right way. But yeah, see you in the next video, guys. Bye.